You're welcome to the past question session from 2018 to 2020 for change of subject of a formula. This is the part 2. In case you missed the part 1, I would like you to go back and watch it. Let's go straight in. So let's take the first question here. West African Senior School SAT, NECO, July 2018, objective question number 8. It says if f is equal to 9 over 5 times c plus 32, find c when f is equal to 98.6. It simply means make c the subject of what? The formula. Then you insert the value of f and then you get a final answer for what? C. The options are here A, B, C, and D. So let's go straight in and solve it. Solution. They said if f is equal to what? 9 over 5c plus 32. We should find c. So from here, what do? We want c to stand alone. So we subtract, first of all, 32 from both sides. Okay, so this now becomes f minus 32 is equal to 9 over 5c plus 32 minus 32. So these two 32 will give way. We now have f minus 32 is equal to 9 over 5 what? C. So we can rewrite this equation as 9 over 5c as equal to what? F minus 32. Since we're asked to make c the subject of the formula. So from here, what do we now do? We want c to stand alone. So what do? We say multiply both sides by what? Multiply both sides by 5 over what? 9. So this now gives 5 over 9 times 9 over 5c is equal to what? F minus 32 times 5 over 9. What now happens? This 9 will go, this 5 will go. We now have that c is equal to what? 5 over 9 into what? F minus 32. So we have gotten the first one. We have made c the subject of the formula. Now they say, but f is equal to 98.6. So we substitute 98.6 in place of f. So this now gives us that our c is equal to 5 over 9 into what? 98.6 minus what? 32. Now this now gives you c into 5 over 9 times 98.6 minus 32 is what? 66.6. So multiplying these two gives you 5 times 66.6 divided by what? 9. Therefore our final answer C is equal to what? You now have, if you divide it, you have what? 37. Do we have 37 in the answer? Yes, so option B is our answer. Okay, so let's solve this one. They say this is GC November 2018, objective question number 8. Make x the subject of the relation E is equal to ks squared over 2y plus z. The options are given A, B, C, and D. So let's do justice to it. Solution. We have that capital E is equal to what? Kx squared over 2y plus what? Z. Now we want x to stand alone. What do? We multiply both sides by what? By 2y, which now gives us 2y times e as equal to what? Kx squared plus 2y what? Z. Okay, so that is what we have. 2y is 2y times e. So take note of that. So now what do? Because we want x to stand alone, we subtract. We subtract 2yz from both sides. which now gives us 2ye minus 2yz as equal to what? Kx squared plus 2yz minus 2yz. This 2yz will give way. You now have 2ye minus 2yz as equal to what? Kx squared. Remember, our intention is to make x to stand alone. So this equation can also be rewritten as what? Kx squared as equal to 2ye minus 2yz. So from here, what do? We factorize the right hand side. This now gives us as kx squared as equal to what? 2y is common there, bracket open, we have e minus what? Z. Okay, so from here, for x to stand alone, we divide both sides by what? By k. Now this gives us x squared as equal to what? 2y into e minus z, all divided by what? K. Now from here, if you divide here by k, what will happen? These 2k will cancel out, and the 1 under this one will still remain. That's why we have this expression. But we are still having x squared, but we want x to stand alone. So what do we now do? We take the square roots. We take the square roots of both sides, which now gives us square root of what? X squared as equal to what? Square root of 2y into e minus z, all divided by what? K. Remember, this expression is the same thing as x squared all raised to power what? Half. This square root sign here is the same thing as writing x squared raised to power half. Okay, so this is now equal to what? Square root of 2y into e minus z over what? K. What will now happen? This 2 will cancel this 2, leaving us with what? X as equal to what? Square root of 2y into e minus z all over what? K. Do we have that in the options? Let's check. X as equal to 2y. Yes, plus, no. 2y, no. Square root of 2y e minus z. Yeah, option C is the correct answer. Okay, let's take the next question. They said this is West African Senior School SAT, NECO, July 2019, objective question number 27. They say make B the subject of the relation LB is equal to half into A plus B times what? H. The options are A, B, C, and D. So let's do justice to it. Solution. They said LB is equal to half into A plus B times what? H. What do? We multiply both sides by 2. This now gives you 2LB as equal to what? A plus B into what? H. Because the 2 here will cancel out. Now, what do? We clear the brackets. We clear the brackets on the right hand side. This now implies 2LB as equal to what? AH plus what? BH. Now we're asked to make B the subject of the formula. So what do? We bring terms containing what? B together. Okay, so this now becomes 2LB minus BH as equal to what? AH. Remember, this BH is plus BH, so as it's going over this equality sign, it becomes what? Minus BH. So take that also, note it. Then from here we have 2LB minus BH as equal to what? AH. Now they say we should make B the subject of the formula. So what do? We factorize. We factorize what? The left hand side. This now gives us B into 2L minus what? H as equal to AH. Now for B to stand alone, we have to do what? We have to divide both sides by what? 2L minus H, which now gives us B into 2L minus H all over 2L minus H as equal to AH over 2L minus what? H. What will happen? These two will go, and we have our B now as equal to what? 2L minus, we have the B now as equal to what? AH over 2L minus what? H. So this is our final answer. Let's check the options if the answer is there. AH over 2L minus, so option A is the answer. Okay, let's take the next question. This is the last question for this part 2. West African Senior School SAT, June 2020. Objective question number 14. They say make M the subject of the relation K is equal to the square root of M minus Y over M plus 1. The options are A, B, C, and D. So one of them is the correct answer. So let's solve it. Solution. It said K is equal to the square root of M minus Y over M plus 1. We should make M the subject of the formula. So we have to try everything possible to make M to stand what? Alone. So what do? We need to remove the square root sign, so we square both sides. Squaring both sides gives us K squared as equal to what? Square root of M minus Y over M plus 1 all squared. Okay, now this implies that K squared is equal to M minus Y over M plus 1, okay, raised to half multiplied by what? 2. This dot here means multiplication. So this square root sign is the same thing as this expression. The square root sign here is the same thing as this expression raised to power half. That's why we have M minus Y over M plus 1 raised to power half. Okay, so this will cancel out, now giving us K squared as equal to what? M minus Y over M plus 1. From here, what do? We cross multiply both sides. Also remember that K squared is the same thing as K squared over what? 1. Now this now gives us K squared into M plus 1 as equal to 1 into M minus what? Y. Now going further, we remove the brackets. Okay, now what do here? We remove the brackets. Removing the brackets gives us K square M, K square times M, K square M plus K square times 1 is what? K squared as equal to what? 1 times M is M minus 1 times Y is what? Y. Now from here, I want to make M the subject of the formula, so M needs to stand alone. So we bring terms containing M together. Now this gives us K squared plus y as equal to m minus k square m. Now, if you look at this, k square here is positive. On the right hand side, y here is negative. So y crossing over makes it what? Positive. So we have k square plus y. On the right hand side, m is positive, okay? And on the left hand side, k square m is also what? Positive. So for k square m to come over this side where m is, k square m will become what? Negative. That's why we have m minus k square m. Okay? Now let us proceed. Now we can rewrite this equation as m minus k square m as equal to what? K square plus y. We have not changed anything. It's still the same thing. These two equations are still the same. Okay, so let's proceed. Now what do? We factorize. Our intention is to make m to stand what? Alone. Factorizing, you bring m out, you have 1 minus k squared into what? K squared plus y. Okay, so we factorize just the left hand side. Take note of that. Now from here, now for m to stand alone means 1 minus k squared needs to go what? Away. So we divide both sides by what? 1 minus k squared. Okay, also take note of that. This now gives us m into 1 minus k squared divided by what? 1 minus k squared as equal to k squared plus y divided by 1 minus what? K squared. What will now happen? These two will go away, leaving our m as equal to what? K squared plus y over what? 1 minus k squared. So this is our final answer. Do we have that in the options? Let's look at it. Okay, good. Option B is the correct answer. Then also take note that this expression is still the same thing as equal to what? Y plus k squared over 1 minus k squared, which is what we have here in the options. So both of them are positive. Both the k square and the y square, they are both what? Positive, so they can be placed in any direction, in any position. So the B is the answer. Please, if you like this video, kindly subscribe to this channel, like and share with your friends, and also hit that notification bell so whenever we upload new videos, you will be notified. Thank you.